Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Caffeinated Jiu Jitsu. Today's episode, I am super excited about because it gets to what I feel is the heart of what Caffeinated Jiu Jitsu is really about. And we all love techniques, we love training, we love talking about competition, which we are today, but sometimes um, jujitsu becomes something much bigger than just a martial art or our path to becoming fit or what have you. My guest today is a lady by the name of Sadie Durio. See, I told you I was going to mess it up. See, uh,
Durio.
Durio,
Yeah.
known on Instagram, and I love this Instagram handle as at slim underscore Sadie. She is a highly competitive blue belt who is consistently stepping on the competitive mats at both large and small events. All the federations, she trains and she competes. But what makes her story so powerful is not just that she competes, it's what she has had to walk through while continuing to show up for her training. Sadie is a first grade teacher, a new first grade teacher that just got through, what was it? Your probationary stage, right? Is that what it is?
So kind of student teaching. So
There
yes,
you
it's an
go.
unpaid intern that California requires for 6 months.
So we're going to call it official first grade teacher now.
Yes.
And she is a mother of two boys, two very active boys who also train. And she has had to overcome struggles like a lot of us with things like anxiety, depression, and also an eating disorder. And I know there's several listeners that I know that have dealt with that in the past as well. So all of this while balancing motherhood, being a teacher, and consistently showing up for training and competing. So today, Sadie and I are going to talk about what jujitsu gives us when we're struggling and what competition teaches us about ourselves. So, Sadie, or should I say, Slim Sadie, welcome to Caffeinated Jiu Jitsu.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let's start where we start a lot of times with guests is your what I like to call origin story. You know, for the listeners who don't know you, who are you off the mats, and what got you into jujitsu? What got you on the mats?
Yeah, well, off the mats, I am a mother of two. I have two boys, 7 and 10, and they are the best ever. Also, like you said, I am a teacher. I just finished schooling, and I now have time on my hands to go back to training a lot more than I was before. And I don't know. Other than that, I feel like that just takes up all my time. Being a mom in jujitsu, I am obsessed with both of those things, so there's not much time left in the day after that.
So you're out in California, right?
I am in California, yeah, Temecula, California.
Are you from there, or is that where you were born and raised?
No, I was born in Woodstock, Illinois, and then I
Oh,
moved here in 2000. Yeah.
how did that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah, my dad works in pharmaceuticals and he brought us out here. And
Yes. Yep.
I like the weather, but I definitely feel like I never really fit in with anybody out here, any of the girls or anything like that. I definitely felt a lot different than all of them, but just more tomboyish, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's where jujitsu really helped me feel more like myself. I feel like out here in California, people are very into fashion and styles and name brands and things like that. And now I can walk around with like my most expensive IBJJF t-shirts. That's the most expensive thing I own because
Yeah.
those t-shirts are so expensive.
Yeah, you
And
pay what, like $100 to register or more, and
yeah,
that's what you get, right?
don't get me
So,
started on my Blue Belt Worlds gi ones because I have paid for those t-shirts. Oh, I think this is going to be my third time. I will win around this time. But yeah, I was just talking to somebody about that. I have not won around at a gi worlds. It's
y-
hard though. That sea of blue. That's hard.
The the shirts for me are kinda like a warm, cozy cup of coffee on a cold night. Like, it's like you just got beat up and lost literally everything, but at least you got something,
You get to
to
walk
make you
away with
feel
something.
you get you get yeah, you don't show up completely empty-handed for the hour and a half drive, right? So,
Yeah,
because
exactly. I mean, for me, it's longer than an hour and a half. Like, I flew to Florida to pull somebody on top of me and lose in 30 seconds at Pans. That was my
oh my
first
gosh.
gi Pans. I will say this, and I know it's controversial, but I am a no gi girly through and through. I just really I have my most success in no gi. I've made podium several times at the worlds and Pans with no gi, and I don't know what it is about the gi, but yeah, I at least at the big ones, you not only get your t-shirt, but you get your mug. So I have
Yeah.
some mugs I got to take home too in the backpack.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I didn't know that.
yeah. You get
Oh,
a backpack with a mug and sometimes
what?
if you're lucky, a keychain.
Whoa. I
Yeah.
so one of my goals, life goals, is to go out to Jiu-Jitsu Con and just not to compete. I'm going to compete again. I don't know when. My goal, I told everybody, I'm going to compete 5 times this year. I'm ready to go. But then just,
Just
life
do it.
kind of happened. Well, it's with
Just
this
do
whole
it.
thing with the job. I think I'm going to try to catch the fall or the winter. No, the winter open here in Atlanta.
Okay.
But a goal of mine is to just go out to Jiu-Jitsu Con and, what that's Master Worlds, right? I think that's Master Worlds when
Yeah.
that goes down. And just go out and I would love to like have a table or a booth set up for the podcast and then, just interview people
Oh.
or go around. You see these guys on the IG that go around and interview people.
Yeah, they're like gi
Uh
or no gi.
yeah, yeah, something
Those
like
guys
that.
I
I
see
don't
on
know what
Instagram.
question I would ask, right? Maybe caffeinated or decaffeinated. I don't know. But
I'd
uh
be decaffeinated. I have too much energy already. So,
yeah, see, I just can't bring myself to drink anything decaf. I maybe if it was a last resort, but I just can't. I need that caffeine. I mean, it's 7:46 here on the East Coast, and I'm drinking a fully loaded creamer Starbucks creamer coffee. So
yeah. No,
yeah,
mine's always decaf. Always.
yeah,
Because the anxiety. So we don't need any
yeah.
more of that.
I know. I'm probably feeding mine. But no, let's talk a little bit about what got you into uh jujitsu. Like did your kids do it? Did somebody invite you? What's that story look like?
Yeah, so my son, my oldest, he was 5 at the time. I worked in a bar and I'd known my professor. He was a client of mine. He'd stop in for drinks here and there for a few years when I worked there, and he just had mentioned, "Hey, I'm opening a jujitsu studio on June 1st if you or your kid wants to join." And since that's summer here in California, I said, "Absolutely, I'll just sign my son up." I gave him $100, and he said, "Cool, we'll come with the gi." And I thought it was going to be a summertime thing. My son ended up really liking it. He built friendships, and I think I watched him do it. Did I watch him for about a year and a half? And I had just watching him from day 1, I just thought it was so cool, but it was a new gym, and there it was just all males in the, adult class, and so I kind of, was just a little intimidated, and then I think I did see a few girls do, like, a trial here or there, but, other than that, it just wasn't enough to get me on there, and then during this time, I was in a very deep experiencing depression and anxiety, and, I was kinda just trying to sweep it under the rug as if it wasn't really happening, especially the anxiety, and then, probably a year and a half into my son doing it, October what is it, 26? Probably October of 23 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably October of 23 is when I started, and I hopped on the mat, and my son had kept begging me actually, so that's truly what it was. My son kept begging me to try it, and I kept putting it off, and finally I was like, "You know what? This little guy, he's going out there and he's competing and he's losing and he's still competing and he's having fun. Why can't I just try it out for him? And so that's really what pushed me was my son, and thank goodness.
Yeah, that's sort of my story too. My son was doing it, and I guess it's not sort. He was sort of the opposite. He stopped to go do soccer, and I took over some of his contract classes and loved it. But it's crazy. A lot of the people I talk to, just in passing, or if I go train in another gym and meet new people in in the jujitsu community, yeah, they get into it because of their kids, right? Either
Yeah.
watching, like you talked about. Um, what do you remember your first class? I know I remember
Oh
mine.
yeah.
Like
You
like
don't?
do you remember? I
Oh
do.
my
I love
goodness.
it. And like it's kind of like one of those memories. It's not a trauma memory, but it's like one of those things that just
Mine kind of
stays
is.
there. Yeah.
Mine, I shouldn't say it is a trauma memory, but it's definitely one of those. It definitely made it into the core memory portion of my brain, just for several reasons. One, because I was so scared. I was um, like probably about 106 pounds. Not that I'm 110, 112 walking around now, but like for me, that's gaining weight and that's good. And so I was so small, and and I remember I don't really remember the drilling portion. I think I probably drilled with, the only girl that was in there at the time, and then but when it came to the live rounds, that's what I remember. I don't even think I made it through 3 full live rounds for, like, a month. That
Wow.
is some
Yeah.
that cardio is absolutely insane. That's a different I thought, "Oh, I go outside and I just run, or I go to the gym and I just go on the treadmill. Like, I'm so fit." No, that that was insane, but I think what stood out to me the most about it is that my son actually took a video of it, and backtrack actually when I first right bef like, when I talked to the professor about coming, my coach, I said, "Jason, what do I wear?" And he was like, "Oh, anything you just go to the gym in, like, because it's just like a workout."
Oh no.
And so I didn't put anything together. I was like, "I just go. What do we work out in? Girls just go in their Lululemon pants and their sports
Yep.
bras." And so I
Yep.
show up and drilling, not really thinking of it. And I part of me thinks he probably thought to like offer me a rash guard, but didn't want to make me feel uncomfortable or anything because women and our
Yeah.
minds. And so it came to the live round and I wasn't really thinking about it. And, I I rolled with my professor. I think he's the one really that I rolled with just because I was so new. I didn't really feel comfortable yet branching out. And I, I remember my son taking a video and he was like, "Go, mommy," and he's cheering for me. And then he was telling me what to do. And it was like the blind leading the blind. And then in the background of this video is like a man laughing at me on the wall of my first round. And it wasn't like he was being mean. But anyways, when I got home and I watched that video, I just noticed so many different things about it. One, first and foremost, don't go to a no-gi class in sports bra without a shirt on because that was just ridiculous. Second of all,
Yeah.
my son just cheering for me and he's like, "Mom, go mom," and trying to tell me what to do. That was just such a beautiful moment. And then 3, that I had a smile on my face, and it was like a smile I had not felt or have seen in just a really long time. And then 4 wait, was that 4? 4 or 5, I forgot what number I was on, but whatever number I was on, the last thing, the man actually who that was laughing at me on the wall at how ridiculous I looked with my spazzy
Yeah.
motions, probably the fact that I was not in the right attire for this, I
Yeah.
didn't look like I belong, has now been my boyfriend of we dated for a year, and now we've been together officially for 2 years, so
Oh, wow.
all of
Wow.
yeah,
So 2
yeah,
origin stories there. That's crazy.
yeah,
That's a video you'll save forever, right? I mean,
mhm.
that is so, so
Yeah, I have
cool.
it on my Instagram.
Oh,
with like a little sentimental song in the background, you know what us girls do.
oh, I, yeah, so when we connected and we started talking about getting an episode together, I watched some of your, videos on Instagram. I didn't see that one. I saw the one where you were competing and, the one that I remember, and you got the, opponent in guillotine, like an arm in guillotine. And I was like, oh, I was sitting there like watching video, close the leg, close, and you closed the guard, and it was over
Yes.
after that. I was like, yes, that's it.
Yes.
But it's so fun to, it's so fun to now, like at our level now, because we're both blue belts, and
Mhm.
it sounds like we've been training around the same amount of time. But it's so cool to like now, um, feel a little bit of confidence in kind of what we're doing and knowing what to watch for. And like, I'll watch some of the IBJJF opens right on YouTube sometime if for some miracle I'm not doing something on a Saturday. And I'm just
Yeah.
sitting there, no, 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 get the underhook. And I'm just like
Oh my gosh, the
kind of coaching
underhook.
these people
Yes.
through. And it's just like, but like if that was me, I wouldn't. I'd be doing the same thing, just probably trying to survive. But I think it's so cool. The reason I bring this up, I just think it's so cool that like you're able to see where you were and like now where
Yeah.
you are, right?
It's so different, and not only just my jujitsu, but, like, myself as a person too. It's just crazy how jujitsu is it's not about jujitsu. It's about real life and the lessons that
Oh
it
yeah,
teaches you.
yeah,
It's just so beautiful. I try to talk to my boys all the time about, the beauty of growth, when they get frustrated or, with whatever they're doing, whether it's a sport or
right.
anything. Just the beauty of growth is a phrase that I always repeat to them.
100%. What? So you with your students, do they know you train jujitsu and the faculty that you teach with? Do they know what you do on the weekends?
So prior to being in first grade, so first grade is actually new for me. I came from the high school. So first
Oh
grade I
wow.
started in January. So I came from the high school, and not only a high school, a continuation high school. And it was the 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 best job. I love working with the little kids. I just think kids of all ages are so fun to work with. Um, but my high schoolers, yes, when they found out, they were hilarious. So when I would go to a tournament and come back, they would say like, "Oh, Miss Sadie, how did you do?" And I'd always be honest with them, like, "Oh, Miss Sadie won, she did great," or "Oh, Miss Sadie got her booty kicked this weekend, but we're gonna go back next weekend. It's gonna be fine." And every single time they're like, "Hey, can we see your videos?" And I would say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull up the one of me winning." And every single time, no, that's not the one we want to see. We want to see you get your ass kicked. And so every single time, my students would only ever want to see. I showed them one time one of me winning, and all they were like, "No, no,
Yeah, I
that's
want to
not the
see
one
you
we wanted
lose.
to see."
I
So
think
yes,
that's just humanity, right? That's what we want to do is see people fail.
yes,
There's some
and
entertainment in that.
yes, my in the first year at Blue, and don't get me wrong, I still lose. I mean, it's inevitable, especially when you put yourself out there so much.
Right.
There's someone's always going to be there to humble you, and that's the beauty of this sport. But my first year at Blue was just butt whooping. I won my first round at Blue, and so I thought, okay, I'm meant to be here. And then it was just butt whooping after butt whooping. It was a humbling year. And I just remember being like, okay, we're going to do it again.
Mm.
We're going to get back out there. And so that's why when I would show back up to the high school, my students would be like, hey, did you get your butt kicked again this weekend, Miss Sadie? Just in front of the class. And yeah, actually, I did. Thank you.
Yeah, I know teachers say like I've heard it from a lot of teachers that like their students are kind of like like they're real kids in the sense of they make you feel the worst and the best about yourself. So
Yes, they do not hold back, and I love that about them. But, I
yeah.
actually had to use my jujitsu at the high school one time. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there was a girl fight, and it was a, very petite girl, and then the other girl was a lot heavier, and that girl was able to get on top of the other girl when they
Mm.
fell. And as I my part of me was like, "Oh shoot, what do I do? Do I go hands on?" And then the other part of me was like, "Today's the day." like that fish in Finding Nemo where he's like, "The
Yep.
tank is clean." And so I just remember running over there and I was like, "Okay, how do I tactfully do this? Like I don't want to hurt anybody." So I just got behind the girl. I said, "Hey, I am a staff member. Please, like, no throwing punches, but I have to remove you from her. You're gonna hurt her." And so I remember just kind of getting like a seatbelt in and kind of just pulling her back. And I remember like coach always saying, "You can't go straight back. You're gonna hurt somebody's knees."
Yep.
in like the first few classes. And so trying to fall to the side and getting like a little one of my hooks in to move her leg
Yeah.
off of the young
That's
lady. But yeah,
oh man.
I'll always remember that. It was so you never know when you're gonna need it.
No, I think I think that's awesome share and it's I don't talk to too many people that have like stories where they had to like literally use it either to defend themselves or someone else. Um
Yeah, it was
Actually,
my
the
only
one
time.
that I do remember was someone. He's an educator. He's a coach, a a PE coach, right, at one of the big high schools, public high schools around here. And yeah, he had a guy came in with a weapon, and I don't know, I can't remember if it was a gun or what it was, but David saw him and tackled him and like took him down, like
No.
double leg takedown, right? The whole like double leg blast, right? And just slammed this guy. And yeah,
No.
it's and I think that's it's sad that we live in the before without going into all the issues society faces now. It's just it's so
Yeah.
hard that schools are dealing with that. And I think not only you have these schools where teachers carry and stuff like that, and but I was in the military for 17, well, 16 years really. And multiple combat tours. I went to Iraq 3 times. I went to Afghanistan once, Kuwait once. Spent some time on the border of Iran. So like, it's my point in sharing all that is different shooting at someone and
Yeah.
shooting at a target, or going out and having some family fun shooting at bottles and stuff. And a lot of people that carry and say they have it to protect themselves. It's different when you pull it out and point it at somebody. Now,
Yeah.
I say all of that to say, how cool would it be if, just like law enforcement, right? That I fully believe need to have some type of jujitsu type grappling training. Like teachers these days need to have some kind of self defense and way to
Yeah.
defend themselves and you know, their students. I'm not saying they have to be like these super fit bodybuilders or marathon runners. I'm just saying they need to have some kind of basic. And I think jujitsu would be a great answer for that.
Yeah, I think so too. You have no idea how many times I have stood in my first grade classroom looking around the room and just thinking, where would I hide them? And I thought also about how, yes, I'm just so grateful to have jujitsu, but thinking like now it's another motivation. I went from having two little boys to having now 24 kids, including them because,
Yeah.
I would have a class essentially of 22 kids, and if so heaven forbid, someone broke into the school and I would have to be the person that stood in the way first, and I do look around the classroom and I'm like, I need to come up with something and patent it. Somewhere I can, like, hide the kids, like, behind the whiteboard, like a bulletproof whiteboard where they can all just, like, go line up behind, I don't
Well,
know.
I always thought about like, do you, so without asking you your age, I went to school in like the 80s and 90s,
Oh,
right?
I'm
So
34.
yeah,
Yeah.
so so they used to have these pull out dividers that you could pull and it would split the class. Like how cool would it be if there was like in the middle of the class, because the
Oh,
door is
yes.
always up front, where you could just pull it and shut it down, but it's like iron or something, or like it's some kind of
Yeah.
bulletproof where like all right, now they're protected. Now you got to deal with my triangle choke, dude, to get to them. So I don't know what to do. um, no, but
My guillotine, because
well,
I'll tell you what, you'll never catch me on my Instagram videos double legging somebody like your friend David. I may
yeah,
be 34, but my knees are not equipped for that. That's
yeah, I've gotten more into takedowns lately, but it's just because I used to be 100% guard puller, but I've gotten into some judo stuff, man. It's been
that's
pretty
cool.
cool. It's been
I
pretty cool.
wish I was takedown girly through and through with my white belt. It was the collar drag always for me. I
That's what I'm
would
doing now. A
yes,
lot of
I
that. I
love
love
the
it.
collar
So
drag.
simple. So simple.
It yeah, it works as long as you you do it properly. So
Don't
not
pull them
all of
on
my
top of
videos are
you.
me. Yes, not all of my videos are me doing that properly, but it was actually my second blue belt tournament. I think it was my second, and I experienced someone in the no-gi tournament at Grappling X jumping my guard, and it hurt
Ooh,
my knees. I felt my knees almost buckle back, and I was not prepared for it. And that moment on, I said, I need these. I am a single mom. I need to go to work. I am a teacher. I want to do jujitsu.
yes.
And from that moment on, I started pulling guard. And you'll see in my video actually that with that same girl, I go to pull guard again, and because I never practiced pulling guard, I pull as if I forgot what I had, but as if I was like pulling in the gi, and then I realized it was slippery, and I fall back and smack my head on the ground. And I made a reel out of it. I don't know if it's still on there with that song that goes, "Oh no. Oh no, no, no," and it's me slow motion falling back and hitting my head. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I became a guard puller. It
Yeah.
just I don't like the I watched somebody at a World League tournament in my boyfriend's bracket. One of the men jumped guard on another guy, and you just watch his knees go backwards, and
Oh,
he was
God, that's
out. They had to
terrible.
come put him on a stretcher, take him away. It was so sad. I mean, we
Yeah.
signed the waiver. We really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah, we
you
sign
out
it, but then
there
we don't
are
think about
a
it
guard
until it shows.
jumper,
That's
yeah,
crazy. Um,
yeah,
well, let's as great opener here. I think I want to move on and talk about you found jujitsu. We talked a little bit when we had our intro call, kind of in a hard season, right?
yeah.
And I think a lot of people find jujitsu when they need something, even if
Mhm.
they don't know what that is. And I think you think that was maybe true for you. Was that true for you?
Yeah, definitely was. I was going through a divorce, and I had my 2 boys. I was bartending, and I knew that I wanted to be more for my boys, and I wanted my boys to have, a good life. I mean, that's all we hope for, right, as parents, but I think part of that was realizing that in order for them to have a good life, it was not about money or even education. Yes, going back to school and education was huge, but it was really focusing on my mental health and the way that my brain just had become wired, and jujitsu just kind of fell into my lap, kind of the same way people find God, right? I don't know if you're religious at all, but God found me not in church, not in a prayer and a song, or maybe in a prayer, but it was not in a church
He
or
didn't find
during
you in a
worship.
prison, did he?
He
He
did
didn't
not
find you in
find
a
me in
prison.
prison. No,
Okay.
thank
He seems
goodness.
to find a lot of people in prison.
I yeah, he does find a lot of people in prison. I follow actually some this Christian website where they rehabilitate. Oh, what is it? They put parents that haven't seen their kids in forever in normal clothing and get them gifts to give their kids, so their kids don't have memories of them in jumpsuits and things like that. I
Oh,
follow
wow.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it's beautiful. But anyways, totally off track. I jujitsu just found me at my worst. It found me at my lowest, and I did not realize, I don't think, I don't think I realized I was at my lowest, or maybe I did because I needed to make a change, and I knew starting that doing that class, a trial class, was going to make my son happy, and so yeah, that's how it found me. Is I was serious anxiety, serious depression. I was taking Ativan to sleep at
Oh
night,
wow.
and that it was difficult because I would wake up, my heart would be pounding, in I'd wake up in my Apple Watch that I had would say that my heart was in, like, the 170s, at 180s,
What?
it
Like
was
your
so
resting heart
high.
rate? Oh my
Yeah, because
gosh.
my panic attacks actually came out in my sleep. So when I would
Wow.
fall asleep, I would, for some reason, my body, it was, I don't know if my body finally would relax, and then it would start realizing how much stress it was under, because I didn't realize how much stress it was under, my body told me. I ended up throwing that watch away because then seeing that number stressed me out even more, and so I ended up probably, like, a month later just taking it and I threw it in the trash, and, I never monitored my heart rate again, and honestly, life has been so much
I'm
better
gonna
after
turn
that
mine
too, because
off
I
now,
think,
yeah.
yeah, and, yeah, so that's, again, that's where it found
Wa
me, not in a
was
good
there
place.
was there a moment, and thank you for sharing, was there a moment when you realized, "Hey, this is helping me, and, like, this is becoming more than I thought it would," like, as far as helping me in this hard season? Was there, like,
Y
and maybe you
Yeah.
can't put your finger on, like, a specific day or an event, but, like, how did that evolve for you?
Yeah, so like I said earlier with my first class, I think it first started when I realized how happy I looked in the video my son took of me. And I'm so grateful that he did that because he never really recorded anything. So um, that was something that helped me realize, okay, I'm one, he was happy; two, look at, I'm smiling and I'm having fun, and my coach is awesome. He's always been amazing. I love Jason so much. I've known him for probably now like 15 years. And that, and then I didn't really notice the man on the wall just yet. I just kind of knew he was laughing at me. So I kind of stayed away from him for a while because I was like, wow, that was rude. Um, but I thought it was so fun with one of the girls that was in the class. She's still there now. It was just the two of us, just learning how to throw each other. I remember we were hip tossing each other, and it took me forever for my little chicken legs to be able to actually hop her up. And it's not, she's not big by any means. It was just my little legs getting her on my hip and tossing her over. Um, let's see. By month 3 or 4 was when I realized it was like a huge mental shift for me by month 3 or 4. And I was off antidepressants. I was off um, anxiety medication. I was sleeping through the night without the heart palpitations
Without
and
200,
without
200 beats per minute for
heart
your heart?
attacks. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, without
yeah.
heart
Uh,
attacks.
urgent care got real tired of me. At one point, I went to my sister's an RN, and I went to her hospital because my job said, "You need to leave. You need to go, and you need to fix whatever is going on." And basically, it was like,
Mm,
"Hey, like, it's okay. Like, just don't come back until
yeah.
you're not panicking
And I'm
anymore."
sure that
Because
added to
yeah,
your anxiety. Like, "Oh
then it
my
added to
god,
my
I put
anxiety,
all this
yes.
time in and now this is where it's gonna go?" Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just became a frequent flyer. My sister's hospital, Temecula Valley, told me in the room. They just hooked me up again to the leads to remind me, like, "Hey, Sadie, you're not actually having a heart attack. You can go home now."
Yeah.
But they ended up telling me, they're like, "You have an anxiety disorder. You need to go to a psychologist. Skip
Yeah.
the therapy, go to a psychologist."
Yeah.
And and so I did, and that was helpful. But jujitsu truly, I would say, was the backbone to all of it. And I am not perfect. I still struggle here and there um, with things. It goes in waves. Hormones
Yeah.
fluctuate, and I feel like that plays a factor into it. Or but yeah, I think by month 3 or 4, right before I did my first tournament. I think because I thought, you know what, this is helping me. I can do it. I can do a tournament, and
Right.
so it was right before then. So definitely month 4 for sure is when I
Yeah.
realized.
Yeah, as someone like I deal with anxiety. When I left the military, they diagnosed me. Well, they diagnosed me with a lot of stuff, but I mean, it was just gonna happen. I mean, I was
Yeah,
gone more than I was home. Um,
yeah,
but it was anxiety, like chronic anxiety, and I couldn't go to like Walmart. I couldn't go to like big sporting events, like crowded things. Fireworks would set me
yes,
off. Like I mean, I just like it was just like so overwhelming, um, and if I'm being honest, and you may feel this way too, I don't know, but I think those of us who struggle with anxiety, uh, regardless of jujitsu, Vyvanse, all these different types of medications. I'd say DHD, but anyway, we're always going to have some level of this anxiety in us, right? I think
yeah,
our brains, but for me, and I do have a question in all this. For me, with jujitsu and anxiety and the relationship between the two, it I can't put into words how much better life got when I started, doing jujitsu on the anxiety side of the house, right? And I think that's
yeah,
because for me, my brain, when I get anxious and stuff, steps help me, and jujitsu is taught to us in steps,
in
right?
steps,
And
yeah.
in like a pattern, right? And I think that's what helped with me. So my question: how did training affect your anxiety?
How did it affect it? Um,
Did it make it worse? I never think about that, but and some people could
you
make it
know
worse.
what? For the first year, when somebody would be on mount
Mm,
on me, or I was balled up because I kind of learned early on as a petite person that inverting was kind of a saving grace.
that's a
And
superpower
so,
for featherweight.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And when I would get smushed in my inversions, or here I am like trying to invert to tell the story, or when I would be in, someone would be in mount and be in high mount, and I couldn't get
The
move
shoulders out
them,
from yeah.
I would have a panic attack. I would there were several times where I had to just, like, tap from someone on me and run outside, and then I would you'd hear, like, the wheezing through my throat. I would I would be so scared, and I have so for the first year, my coach was like, "You need to work on being in that position and breathing and just telling yourself, like, I am okay. I am fine. I'm not gonna die." Like, all I have to do is just tap. Isn't that funny? Like, all that's all you gotta do. But
I
yet
think
my
about
my
that meme. But did you
brain
die? But did you
yeah,
die?
it's literally all you have to do is just is tap, and then it's done. But yet my brain thought maybe just like when I wake up in the morning, for some reason when I wake up in the morning, my brain is or what was it? It's like thinking my whole body just thinks I'm, like, storming the beaches of Normandy, but yet I'm just trying to get ready for work.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's kind of what it was like for the first year.
Yeah.
And what's so funny too is there's a little girl in the kids class, and my coach Jason had to do the same thing with her. And part of me felt like I was not alone for that whole year because
No.
she in the kids class, I would see him just he was a lot nicer with her though. Like he would just tell her like, "Hey," he would get down. Oh my gosh, there's a fly. He would just get down and he would tell her like, "Hey, just breathe through it. You're okay. You can shrimp. You could
Yeah.
try to get out." With me, it was like you could Sadie, you could just tap. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I tell people my favorite escape is the tap. So they're like, "What's your favorite escape?" Well, giving up and tapping. I get
Yeah,
out of it
and
instantly.
I am not afraid to tap either. I tell people
No.
all the time, like, especially with arm bars. I had my arm ripped off at a
Uh,
tournament one time from not tapping, and because I was watching the timer go down, I thought I could make it. No, I
yeah.
tap
When
so easily
look,
now.
I mean, like we're like you're a competitor. We can say, hey, and we're going to talk about your competition and competitive track here in a bit, but it's safe to say you're a little more than a hobbyist. But
Yeah.
there's also always going to be that hobbyist side to you because you have children, you have a full time job, you're probably making assumptions you're the sole income earner for your family and your kids and your it's like we can't afford to like
To
push
get
to the
hurt.
brink of destruction. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 46. So when the 25 or 28-year-old white belt that's been training for 5 months comes in and just trashes me, yeah,
Yes.
and he catches me, I'm tapping, buddy. I don't care if
Yeah,
he's a white.
it's always
I don't have any ego there, buddy. I'm coming
yeah.
home. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's always the guys that I feel like they just get out of high school and they nobody wants to lose to the smallest girl in the room at all.
Like, oh, she's
And
choking me. What can I do?
and
Slam.
yes, yeah, that's how I broke my pinky toe. My foot was slammed in class, and
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes we just have to leave the ego at the door. And I always tell these boys, I'm like, hey, if you and I, if we go outside right now and have a street fight, everybody in this room knows who's going to come out on top. So you do not have to tear me
Right.
apart limb from limb right now. Like if you are
Yeah.
stuck in my lasso or whatnot, like you will learn
Yeah.
to get out. Please do not pick me up and slam me. That is
Yeah, it's fun.
not an effective way. We are not at a fight to win. Don't
Yeah.
don't slam
It,
me, please.
it's funny you mentioned lasso because that's kind of like my go-to for somebody that's new and just like, especially in gi, if they're like killing me and they're brand new, but I know like they're out and I'm like, okay, lasso, you're not going to figure this out,
Isn't that
at least
awful
not
when
right.
someone just comes in off the street and we've been there for 3 years and they're just, like, absolutely working us? I'm like,
Yeah.
"Dang, I just
It
showed
is,
up to jujitsu every single day for the last 3 years, and this person
it's a
comes off
little
the street."
it's a little deflating. It is.
Yeah.
And it's happening. I will say this, it's happening to me less, which I'm thankful for, but I don't think that's something that will ever go away in jiu-jitsu. I mean, let's be
No.
honest. I mean, there's no one in jiu-jitsu in the jiu-jitsu community that is the best in the world and can always 100% beat everybody, all shapes and sizes. There's nobody, but
Well, I feel like that's why some people won't compete because once you put yourself out there, you're no longer the best in your gym.
that's right. That's
Like,
right.
I noticed
Yes.
that among people,
Mm.
like, whether they wanna be, like, the really good girl of the gym or the really good guy, they're such, they're so afraid of failure, which I it absolutely for a while was one of those afraid of failure. I was afraid to push myself in a tournament because what if I fail? Well, I just
Yeah.
failed anyways if you're gonna call it a failure because you just chose to lose basically. So
Yeah.
that I get that, but at the same time, yeah, I think there's some people that won't step out because they want to be perceived as the best. But then once you become a competitor, you realize like we all just don't know what we're doing out there in the blue belt division.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, people will come up to me and ask me questions. They assume because I compete almost every other weekend, they think, "Oh, she must know what."
Everything.
I just did a class this morning on how to escape someone choking me with their hooks in, and I was not doing well, and the girl was just a white belt, she just got her blue belt, and I'm, like, trying to get out. No, nobody you
Yeah.
we I tell people when they ask me questions, I am a really good white belt. That's all I
Yeah.
am, is a really, really good white belt right now.
And maybe that's the mentality we should all probably just keep for a while and always think like that. And but no, you've been kind of pivoting to another section or segment or whatever here. You've been very open, at least when we talk, and I think you talk about it in other forms too, probably. But walking through some really difficult seasons, including divorce, right?
Yeah.
Single motherhood. We've talked about anxiety and things like that. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I would love to talk about how jujitsu helps you move through that season. Now, I've been through a divorce myself, and you lose a lot of things about kind of yourself. And one of the things you lose is confidence, and you start kind of doubting like your decision making, and like there's just all kind of like these internal things that go on. How did jujitsu help you regain some of the things you lost in those hard seasons?
Yeah, I think I was just lost in general, honestly, prior to all of that happening, the divorce and everything. I
Mm.
think my whole life, I just never thought I was capable of doing anything hard. And marriage is hard, relationships are hard. And I think that raising children is hard. I think I just postpartum just fell into such a rut and feeling like I don't even know who I am. And after my life just felt like it spiraled downwards, and I felt like I hit a rock bottom, and I think jujitsu played so many different roles. And I think at first what jujitsu was what's the proper word? It was almost like it took my mind off of everything. It was like a Band-Aid. I used jujitsu, I think at first was a Band-Aid. That was
Mm.
the first stage of it, which in a way, did that help? In a way it did, yeah. I was off the antidepressants and all of that. My body was moving, it was exercising, and I was eating more. Um, but in another sense, I felt like it was a defense mechanism in a way. I don't know, it was keeping me from really sorting through the bigger picture, which was who are you as a person and what type of person do you want to be? What kind of mother do you want to be? Um, and once I got through like the first part, I think then jujitsu went from being a band-aid to jujitsu meeting me at rock bottom and saying like, "Hey, we're we're gonna pull you up here, and here's it's almost like you're climbing a rope, and this rope is really like the hallway in The Shining that just keeps going, you know?
That's a horrible movie, by the way. I That's one horror movie I will never
Like,
watch
the way I
again.
can think of it, it's like
Ugh,
that hallway, that just is never
yes.
ending and it keeps getting longer. That's kinda what jujitsu is because it's a long journey. And I jujitsu started helping me not only the way that I see myself, I think now that I see myself in a better light, I treat others differently and I see things differently. So it went from a band-aid to helping me realize like, hey girl, like, hey, yeah, here you're getting through, you're working through anxiety and depression, but you still have a lot of issues here that you need to resolve. Now, like, let's fix this. So it helped me kind of sift through each thing,
Did
like
it
each
did it
part.
Oh,
Sorry,
go ahead.
what?
Go ahead.
No, I don't even remember what
Finish
I was
your
gonna say.
No, sorry to interrupt. Did it change the way you saw yourself?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people with eating disorders can agree
Mhm.
when you have an eating disorder, a lot of what comes with that is body dysmorphia. And I don't think body dysmorphia will ever go away. I do think I still like when you have an eating disorder, I feel like a lot of us walk past a mirror and we stare at ourselves every time we walk past a mirror. It's like every time there's like an opening and you can see yourself in a reflection, you kind of
Mm.
just gaze. And it's not a conceited gaze. It's like, oh, did what I eat, can you see it? Or, oh, now that I ate that, I'm so huge in this reflection. I think it helped with that. I think it helped me realize down the line as well that I can do hard things, that I
Yeah.
just made it through all of these seasons, and I think that has now come into play into even my relationship now or parenting seasons. Well, I have 2 very different kids. One is more mellow, one is very spirited. And so, there I don't know, it helps you see things so much
Right.
differently, and I know that I can do hard things and
Yeah.
no matter what. It doesn't mean that everything's going to be perfect. Doesn't mean my life is going to be
Yeah.
perfect, but I know that I can face whatever any challenge. I mean, how can you not when you sign
Yeah.
up every weekend and you go stare at somebody and have to fist bump them and then kumbosh, and then
Yeah.
they're running at you at full speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah, it's like this perfect imperfect thing that we do, and but it just it I asked that question because it definitely changed the way I kind of view myself and the things. I mean, I started when I was 42. I didn't really think that at 42, I worked all the time. I came home, I was dad, I was, hubby, I was, like,
all the things.
I mean, I was all these things. I didn't realize that I needed something for myself, and I found this thing that I just obsessed with and would have been years ago. Uh, but like now it just kind of showed up and changed. Like, I can do all these things, even though, I'm a little older and later in life. And
Yeah,
anyway,
it really is for everybody.
hmm yeah,
It
yeah,
truly is for everybody. And
100%.
I our gym just started like I think it's a 50 and over class,
Oh, wow.
for some of the guys who don't wanna, roll with the younger guys. Like, that piece us apart that just walk in from the street, those
Yeah,
guys, and so,
yeah,
it really is. I hate when I hear people say, like, "Oh, I wanna try it, but I'm not in shape." Well, just
right.
because I was 105 pounds soaking wet does not mean I was in shape. I wasn't. I could not make it through rounds without having to sit on that wall. I couldn't make it through probably the first couple months of every single round in class. It does
Mm,
not mean that I was in shape just because your body may be bigger, you may have extra weight on you, or you're not eating
right.
properly, or you're smoking or whatnot, whatever makes you feel like you're not in shape. You it you don't have to wait to be in shape to start jujitsu. You just do it. You just
No,
make it work. You just
no.
do it.
I weighed 220 pounds. I was so overweight and so out of shape. I mean, when I left the military, I was like shredded. I was like, I look good. I'm just gonna say
So that was
that. And
220 pounds of
no,
muscle.
no,
Oh,
no, of Coca-Cola, sweet tea, cheeseburgers.
yeah.
I'm talking about when I left the military, and then from the time I left the military to I found jujitsu, I just let myself go, and
But
yeah, I
sweet tea's a
lost
thing
like,
out there.
man, I mean,
You're in
right?
Georgia, right? You guys love
Yes,
that stuff.
and and I think I ended up. I got down to. I don't know if this is an eating disorder or not, but what I was doing, I was training 2 to 3 times a day. I was burning 1,300 like something calories, and I was only taking in like 800. So my body started eating the muscle. I got down to like 173. I looked like I was getting sick, and
Yeah,
but anyway, it I don't even know why I bring that up.
but it
But
does
one,
that. It helps you. It helps you get
yeah,
back in shape.
it does. So I mean, starting out of shape is the best time to start because you're going to see all this progress. I
Mhm.
want to talk about because I know I always love uh, kind of gauging as we go through like these episodes where guests come on and you kind of look at the time and you're like, oh, you're at an hour and you're having this amazing conversation. You only covered like
Oh,
three
yeah,
sections
sorry,
of
I
what
can
you want to
talk
do.
for
No,
forever.
no, no. That's
My coach hates it.
like it's a sign of exactly what you want in these types of conversations and getting things out to the listeners. So I'm super excited, but I want to make sure that we cover your competition life. So
Oh,
you compete a lot,
yes.
right? um
Yeah.
did you say you compete like every month, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I try to. I
yeah.
try to.
What pulled you into it? Like, what made you say I'm going to sign up for my first competition? Because that's a big,
Yeah,
like,
I'll tell you why,
crossing the
because
threshold.
my son came up to me. My son said, "Hey, mom, you make me compete. You need to do it too." And I was like,
Mm.
"Oh, nobody. Mommy's 30 years old. She's not going to compete." And he goes, "That it's only fair." And I sat and I thought about it. And I was like, "Shoot, he's right." Like there were times where I was like, "Oh, I signed you up for this," and didn't even ask him. Reflecting back, I know there's some parents out there that are going to disagree with me and they think like, "Nope, competition is life. You have to do it." I will never force my kids to do another competition. The way that I see their little bodies with the stress, that and the stress that I get from it, I will never force them ever to compete. That's a choice. And they have here and there made a choice. But anyways,
Yeah.
for myself, um, was definitely my son saying that and I signed up. And I my first tournament was a world league. and there were 8 girls in the bracket. And I showed up hyperventilating. I rode with my coach down there, and I remember just in the ride, going down there. He was like, "How do you feel?" I was with him and his son, and I was in the back seat, just sitting dead center in the middle. And I was like, "I think I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'm fine." And I just wanna do I hope I do well, and then I get there, and then the nerves set in, and,
Yeah.
I think I peed, like, 30 times in 30 minutes. Like, I don't know what it is about nerves, but I did not real I wasn't even drinking water because I was so nervous about weight and everything, and I've never had a weigh-in for anything in my life, which I don't know why I was concerned about weight because I didn't really weigh much at all. And then I started watching other people's rounds. Okay, they should not have the gray belt children go before the adult white belts because those kids are insane. And so
Insane.
I was watching them thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is what my round's gonna be look like." I saw flying arm bars, I saw all this stuff. And and yeah, 8 girl bracket, and it was like first round, slap hands, fist bump, and I blacked out. And then all of a sudden my hands being raised. And I was
Wow.
like, "Whoa." And then I run off the mat, and then my coach is like, "No, go shake her coach's hand. Like, don't be rude." And I was like, "Oh crap." So I have to go back, shake the coach's hand. And he's like, "Yeah, you have more." And I'm like, "But my fingers hurt so bad and everything hurts." I don't know what happened. I'm coming into consciousness. I'm still hyperventilating. So he's massaging my fingers. I think another coach, JoJo, she was there massaging my fingers. And they're like, "You did great. Like you got to go out there again now that you won." And so then I went out for my second round. Again, I slap hands, I black out, and then all of a sudden my hands being raised. And I was like, no freaking way. I was like, this is not happening. There's no way. I'm sobbing. Every time my hands raised, I'm sobbing. And then I go into my next match and I was like, okay, you guys, I'm done. And they're like, no, you're not done. You won again. I was like, oh my God, I don't ever want to do this again. What is going on here? And so so then I go out, slap hands with this girl, and kind of black out. And then but I think this one I was more conscious because I was just so exhausted by this point. And but your fight or flight is what's carrying you through, right? Like that wasn't even Sadie out there. That was just someone else taking over. That was the Lord's grace just
Mm.
taking me on out there. He really took the wheel. And then I look up and I think I'm 20-0 in points. I had 20 points.
Wow.
She has 0. And I'm just thinking, wow, what the heck? This is crazy. And then she throws me into her guard, and we're white belts, so we don't really know much other than to, put the elbows in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
legs and yeah, dig
Don't
in,
have a
let's
lot of
go.
escapes, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And she pulls me into a triangle,
Oof.
and I'm trying to, get out of this triangle, and she's trying to tighten her legs and adjust, and I it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And I'm like, "But I'm up 20-0. Like I can make it. I can make it." And then I think it was 2 seconds left. I didn't know it was 2 seconds, and I tapped. And so
Ugh.
I lost the round to gold, which is fine because I had already done
Yeah.
phenomenal. She deserved it. She
Yeah.
got me. She won fair and square. It doesn't matter about the points. And yeah, I that was my first competition. I was sobbing. And
Mm.
don't get me wrong, I still cry. Honestly, I still cry at all mine. Um and
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, you put a lot of work into that, and people, it is an emotional thing. I mean,
I just
I remember
never
my
thought I
first
would be
win.
there.
I got choked up too, and that's after several losses, and I didn't even win gold when but you feel if you win any match in your bracket, whether it's 8, whether you're fighting 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you feel accomplished,
Yeah.
or you should. Um, it's hard. A lot of people, train all year for worlds, and like you said, you can go and tap out in 2 seconds or 30 seconds, and there's a disappointment in it, but there's more. Um, what's the word I'm looking for here? I think we as competitors, or those of us that compete, should always maintain this appreciation of the fact that, hey, I'm out here, I'm doing it, I'm putting my left foot in front of the right and committing to this. Um, when we think about winning and losing, how do you handle losing a match mentally, emotionally, and also the winning side? Some people will let winning go straight to their head, and get disappointed later. How do you handle? Well, let's take losing first.
So if you were to ask me about losing several years ago, I would take that hard and I would take that home and I would use it as um, a basically a mirror of what my self-worth was.
Mm.
I'd put all this
Mm.
effort, I'm doing something hard, but yet I'm not winning. If I'm working hard, if I like I can do hard things now, why am I not winning?
Right.
And I would go home and I would just obsess over it and I would cry. It would ruin a few days for me. And then now with losing, um, I just I think it's so beautiful. I really do. I'm sorry, there is a fly that keeps flying around me. But
We should get him on the mic. Yeah, I
yeah,
see that fly.
seriously,
It's like
he
a
has something
friend.
to say.
A friend has joined
Um,
us.
I it really, and I know that people are not gonna agree with me, but I just went to Masters International and I lost my round to this girl. I think her name was Chloe, and she just had a stellar guard game.
Mhm.
And I I went home and I rewatched the videos, and to me, I just thought like, wow, I I want my guard game to be like this. And I'm not too far off. Like I had great moments. Like don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
But I just see the beauty in losing because really what's the overall bigger picture? To be on top of the podium and have a gold medal? Yes, that's cool. That's a cool Instagram post. But what's a bigger picture? I go out into the public and I'm attacked and I'm a single mom with my 2 boys and it's just me to
Right.
defend them. I'd rather go lose on that mat and learn, "Hey, this didn't work. Now I gotta do this." This is why I do the open bracket every
I
single time I
love
sign
that.
up for the open. Every single time, because
Mm.
in my head, what's the point? Before it was the point of all this is I have to show my kids I can do hard things and win.
Mhm.
No, now I need to show my kids I can do hard things and still rise when I
Yeah.
don't accomplish what I want to accomplish. I will accomplish those things, but it's not my time right now. It was not my time. It was Chloe's time, and that's great. She put in all that work. We all do,
Mhm.
but someone has to lose.
Yeah, I love that. It's like you're showing them that, hey, I can defend you if I have to, and then the ultimate, like, this is a self defense martial art. I mean, that's what it was
Yeah.
created to be. And jujitsu is a huge sport, but at the end of the day, it is, can we take? I love that. Can we take what we're learning on the mats and you know use it when we need it?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
what I would imagine. Um, Competing as much as you do has revealed things about yourself to you. Um, can you put your finger on some things that competing has revealed, kind of personally and internally about you? I know you
Ooh.
mentioned that it that's a big question. I know you mentioned, a I can do hard things, but is, um maybe it's an emotional thing, emotionally, maybe it's physical. I don't know. Featherweights can do
Yeah,
a lot of different things, the
we
inverting and pain.
can. We
Yeah.
can do a lot of stuff. And I remember signing up for the open one time. This is totally not the answer to the question, but
Mhm.
quick side story. I signed up for the open one time and one of the girls laughed at me because she saw that there were all these heavyweight girls in there. It was my first blue belt submission on someone that was probably about 230 pounds. It was a guillotine.
No.
And yeah, and
Wow.
my
Do you
boyfriend's
have
like, "You should
video
go
of
back
that?
there and tell her."
That's the Yeah,
Yeah, it's on my Instagram.
I
There
gotta
is a
go back and
video of
watch that.
it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you can't. I was so proud of myself, and in the video, I'm crying again. But yeah, it revealed that yes, first and foremost, I can do hard things, but also that I can stick with something. That
Right.
just because it's hard doesn't mean we quit. We don't quit when things get hard. We just readjust and we keep going. And I think that's the biggest thing for me for in my whole life. I just never thought I was capable. I never,
Yeah.
shockingly enough, I never thrived in a school setting. I later found out when I went to the psychiatrist, that I was undiagnosed with ADHD my whole life, and I see it. I knew. I have a son, my youngest has it. He is so busy, although it presents itself differently, but in little boys than it does girls.
Right.
But I just never I think from a young age, I felt different from everybody. Then I moved to a state where I still felt different from everybody. A classroom environment was not conducive to the way that I could learn, and we didn't
Okay.
have as many tools then as we do now. So that was another thing that it gave me an insecurity. And then it was just little things as I grew up that played into that, and I just gave up every single time got something got hard. And I
Mm,
think jujitsu helped me realize that I was better than that. We're all better
right.
than that. Like we just it's and I don't even consider losing failures. I've never I would never consider anything I've faced in jujitsu a failure because I keep showing up.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to but that's all I could ask for to show my boys, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. I I don't know if I figured out like if I can pinpoint the things that maybe jujitsu uh kind of changed about me. So maybe listening to your answer I can self evaluate, but I uh I don't compete, yeah, a lot, and I think because of that, right? I think there's probably an aspect that I myself need to kind of push past and compete a little more, and I think those that are listening, all right, to our conversation and who after this follow you and your competitive journey, um, I think that um, how do I want to say this? Maybe it'll encourage more people to compete and learn a little bit more about themselves, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up and ask the question. So thanks so much for sharing that.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So kind
I
of like, oh no,
oh sorry.
go ahead. No, you're good. Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, like, to encourage people to compete, I feel like I don't know, I feel like maybe I've shed a lot on it being so positive, but I just want to at least have some kind of truth behind it. My first year at Blue was butt whooping after butt whooping. Like Grappling X, when I would sign up, would put me with people that were like 160 pounds or
Oof.
the purple belt adults. And so I it was the first year at Blue was tough. But then when you're in
Yeah.
your own bracket, like Blue, it is a sea of blue. That's a sea of talent. You have people who just got their blue belts, but then again, you don't know how long they were at white belt because some academies hold their white belts and blue
Right.
belts for a very long time. I mean, I've talked to girls on the podium about like, "Oh yeah, how long have you been this or how long have you been that?" And I realized that I really appreciate my coach. He does what's the word sandbagging? He
Yeah.
does not do that. If you are remotely close to the next level, you're getting a challenge, sister.
Yeah.
You're getting
That's right.
promoted. And so I
Yeah.
I
I
I'm really hoping I finish out the last this year at Blue so I can go to Worlds as Blue. I I
Oh,
talked to
that's
him about
awesome.
it, but you don't get to choose. But I definitely am not
Right.
having the success I want right now at
Yeah.
all.
So I was at Alliance. I got my blue belt to Alliance, and you have to have X amount of training hours. Like you can't roll until you're two stripes. They won't let you roll until you're two stripe white belt, and you have to have 35 hours per stripe. Yeah, like I mean,
What?
people will be there like 6 7 months not even rolling. And now this is not a knock on Alliance. I get kind of why they do it. And when I was already a two stripe white belt when I started, so I didn't have to wait that way. But to get the blue belt, I had to put in a lot of hours. But I did feel confident in my technique, and it was awesome. Where versus like Iron Wolf and some of the places down here that I'm kind of back into now, um, you know, just like your coach at your gym, it's when you can demonstrate that you're ready to be challenged, when you might start sandbagging a little bit, it's time to rank up, right? And then also you have a lot of gyms. Some gyms don't teach everything. I mean, there's gyms that don't teach heel hooking to like blue belt or purple belt. Here, like at Iron Wolf, I mean, we got white belts wrist locking people and
Yeah.
like knee
Hey, you
barring
got to be
people,
prepared. It's coming.
right?
It's coming at some point.
So,
I don't see the
um,
knee bars. I don't mess with the knee bars. I'm not going to be in charge of breaking
yeah,
somebody's leg, But
yeah,
the what is it? The heel hook? Is that what it is? I
yeah.
forget the
That's
name of it.
yeah. I
But
don't do that. I mean, so do you have just a couple more questions? I want to go into some closing questions, and thank you so much for all of the kind of vulnerability and all that you're sharing here. It's really great. Do you have kind of like an A game? Is there like a favorite guards mission? Like, I mean, do you talk a little bit about kind of your game? Maybe
yeah,
maybe
so
not
I've
going too
already.
far detail if you're going to Worlds this year, but you know what I'm
Oh,
saying.
that's okay. You're
Yeah,
gonna see it on Flow.
yeah,
You'll everybody can see my game on Flow at this point. I'm gonna pull.
yep.
And there's no question about that. I am not gonna fight you for a takedown. I think I just exert way too much energy. I also don't want my knees to snap.
Yep.
But
So we're pulling guard, then what?
I'm pulling into X, and
Ooh,
if I can't get to X, I'm pulling into the De La Hiva, and I will, I will try to get to X. But
my
I will
first guard
say,
ever worked on mastering, not mastering, but like getting good at was X guard. I love
oh,
it.
really?
Oh
So that
my
came later
god.
for me. I gravitated straight to lasso, which really, really messed me up when I decided I got my blue belt. I did no-gi here and there, but I didn't pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to it really. It was just more for exercise.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend goes, "Hey, we're going to no-gi worlds." And I was like, "What the heck?" I don't ever do no-gi. Two,
Right.
I play lasso. That is my only guard because as a petite person, I just want to keep people off me.
Yeah.
So my coach was like, "You're gonna get a 3-month crash course on DPAF. Let's
Yeah.
go."
Yeah. You're not
And
doing
so
lasso and nogi.
you are
You're
not
not.
doing lasso and nogi. And there are Instagram videos of people doing lasso and nogi on tutorials, and they really messed with me because I thought you could. And then I tried it in
Yeah.
nogi and it wasn't
Yeah.
working, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, Sadie, you're really bad." And then my coach is like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm playing
You gotta have
lasso."
like vice grips, like to
Yeah.
hold for lasso nogi. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say my deep half though is coming along. It's
If
I've had the most success with that
if
is my
you
deep half.
want deep half, Bernardo Faria and Leo Noguera. So my game is deep half, half guard, and close guard attacks. Like that's it. I'm gonna take you down. I'm not gonna try to take you back from the collar drag. I'm gonna try to force you to turn into me. And 9 times out of 10, if they're bigger, they just push me over because you have no base. But I get them in close guard, and if my attacks don't work, it we just sweep them out anyway. But that's Bernardo Faria and Leo Noguera have some of the best deep half guard, and Marcus Tinoco. If you ever want to get back into gi a lot, he does phenomenal lasso stuff,
Oh,
and
okay.
those guys are legit. I did a and but Bernardo is also good at over under and pressure passing, but they're just amazing. So just if you
Yeah,
ever
I'll
want to
have
check them
to
out,
look at some of those.
they're not going to give you any garbage to not use that doesn't work. I assure you, all of
Oh,
their
good. No, the
supports.
Instagram.
Yeah,
All the stuff
yeah.
I got in trouble for when I was a white belt coming in to ask
I
my
have
coach
so
about.
much. I have so much stuff saved that is just ridiculous. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that looks cool." Um, So just a couple closing questions, Sadie. Well, first, where did this? Let's talk about this Slim Sadie thing really quick because I'm not getting off without talking about that. Um,
Yes.
so let's hear it.
Oh, I just was obsessed with Eminem growing up. I don't listen to rap music really at all, actually, at my age now, but I will still listen to Eminem. Yeah,
There you go.
I
But
listen to a
not with
lot
the
of
boys
like,
in the car, right?
it depends on what
If it's
song it
clean,
is.
well, that's
Yeah,
true.
it
That's true.
if it's clean, and then it just depends on what song. But no, not now that I think about it, no, not really. I
There's not many
my
you can.
son, yeah, my son one time kept saying he really liked Venom by
Oh,
Eminem, and I
yeah.
was like, "What? Like, where are you hearing this song from?" But yeah, he was trying to say that he loved Eminem. He's going into middle school this year, but even still, I don't know how he could even hear it. His phone is parental controlled to the max. So, I
Yeah.
don't know, they're sneaky. But yeah, in high school, I was obsessed with Eminem. Even before, I got in trouble for stealing my sister's burned CD probably in 2000, a little later than 2000, with the song
Yeah.
"Cleaning Out My Closet" on it.
Yep.
I could rap that song to you in the 5th grade flawlessly, and
Nice.
I got in trouble when they heard me listening to that in my, I don't think it was on my boombox upstairs. I think I had it in a disc, in the
Mm.
Walkman. But yeah,
Walkman.
that's where it came from, and it
Oh,
stuck,
Lord.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so
Well, I
now
think it's
I
perfect.
just
I love this. It caught my
thank you.
attention. I thought it was just really cool. I think it goes along really well with your vibe too. So, so next kind of final two questions. They're going to be big. So get ready. First, what would you say to, well, let's say to women in particular, right, who want to compete, but maybe they're afraid or just don't feel like they're ready. And then here's kind of the bigger one. What do you, um, Sadie, want your jujitsu journey to represent?
So, for women out there, as far as competing, don't wait until you think you're ready. You just go out there and do it. Like you can do it. What's the worst
Mm.
that's going to happen? You lose. We all lose, and we all lose eventually. I've never met a person that just has won everything.
They've ever
Um
done. Yeah.
yeah, and to women out there, also, especially that are moms, do not, first of all, don't ever compare yourself to anybody, but sometimes when you get on
Right.
that podium or you're not on that podium, it's hard not to compare yourself to someone. You don't do that, because I had to realize that these girls, when I made it to the podium, at some of the majors, after getting to know the girls, the majority of them, they're not moms, and a lot of them, their husbands are coaches, or their family has done jujitsu, or they've been at Blue for a while, and that is not to take away from the work that they put in, because whether your husband's a coach, or whether you're a blue belt for a while, or you're training every single day, and you can, work out all day and go train all day, um,
Right.
that you're putting in work. Like that those
Mhm.
girls who do that, they deserve to be on that podium just as much as I do, but you can't, as a mom, you can't compare yourself, because that will just eat you alive. It'll make you feel like you're not good enough, and, it took me a while to see that just because if people would be like, I'd be at a tournament, one of the big tournaments, and they'd be like, "Oh, are you ready? Like, are you excited?" And I would always say like, "Oh, I think so, but, I'm gonna do my best for what I had been doing, because I wasn't training very much the last probably 9 months, maybe once, twice a week, due to student teaching and school, because I was in school full time and working full time. And it's like, no, get that mindset out of here. Like, you're still showing up, you're still putting in the effort, you still deserve to be there, you're still good enough. You deserve to be in that room. You lose, who cares you were there? Like, how many other girls are still sitting at home wishing that they had the courage to try the sport? Like whether you've been training forever or
Yeah.
not that much, you deserve to be there.
Mm.
So don't compare yourself and just go do it.
Mm. No, I think that's amazing. What do you hope your story represents? Like you make black belt, you look back.
Oh
What do you want people
man.
to see from your journey, or maybe it's to your journey so far?
Yeah, I just want people to see that they're capable. I want people to see
Oh,
to
that's
be
good.
kind to one another and just that they're capable no matter what. Like don't be afraid of failure.
Mm,
Uh at all at Masters International. I was sitting with my checkmat team from I'm at Dedicated, which is located in Temecula. It's not Checkmat Temecula, it's a different gym.
right.
But we're affiliated with Checkmat Marietta. And I was just sitting with all of us, and a lot of us did not have the outcome we wanted. And one of the guys sitting there, he actually has a podcast too, like Oast Nation or something like that.
Oh, no way, I know him.
Matt
Yeah.
Vega.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
such a cool
great guy.
guy,
He
and
and I connected, talked podcast stuff one day. Good
oh,
guy.
no way, yeah,
Amazing dude.
he's so cool, I love him, great person, and he was just sitting there after his loss, and he's like, "Yeah, but I'm just so happy to be here." He was like, "I the community is great," and I'm like, "See, this is what we need, this is, like, the
Yeah.
positivity that we need." Like, I just loved that because I feel that way. Because
Oh,
when
yeah.
people are like, "Oh, you lost," I'm like, no, well, kind of, but I learned, and I also had a really good time.
Yeah.
Actually just made another friend, and that was a huge thing. My coach would always tell me, "Do not make friends until after you fight them. Like, stop making friends in the bullpen." But I'm like, "We just gotta be kind." You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, I'm
and
like that
that maybe
too.
that's my other
Yeah.
advice to the girls, be kind in the gym, anywhere. Like, there is success for everybody in this sport, and but our success is all gonna come at different times. Like, we don't need to be catty. We don't need to, you know, not like someone because they beat us one time, or I don't know, we
Yeah.
just need to be kind, and success will come to all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I think that's great. I love the takeaway about, I love the kindness part of it because yeah, we're in this sport around it's a little violent. And a lot of martial arts, you don't think about kindness, right? You think about beating people up or defending yourself from a attack. You kind of think about the it's not a negative impression, but it doesn't come off where the first thing when we talk about martial arts and what it does to us, like, oh, see the kindness in it. And I love that. I love that you shared that. And,
yeah, I mean,
Sadie, I
we all
really,
work hard.
oh
We
gosh,
all
yeah.
deserve to
Yeah.
be there. Like,
Yeah. You put the
we
time
all put
in.
in the effort.
That's
Yeah.
right. And those are hard time. I mean, a lot of people will look, it's an hour, hour and a half, but it's a hard hour, hour and a half in training. And, no, look, Sadie, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing. I've really enjoyed getting to know you and follow you on Instagram. I think what is kind of most powerful about the conversation is that hope it reminds people that jujitsu is not just about becoming better at fighting, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes it's about becoming better at facing life, and I think that's what people can
absolutely.
hear in your story and what you've shared here today. You've shown that you can be a mom and a teacher and a competitor and a student and someone that's still going through healing and growing at the same time, right? It speaks to all of us. We all have something we're going through. And I think a lot of people listening are going to see themselves in that. So thank you for, it takes that degree of vulnerability of coming on. And that's some of my favorite guests that come on the show share kind of that personal side. And for anyone listening who is struggling, maybe the takeaway is simple. You don't need to have everything figured out in your first training class or your first year, 2 years, or like us, 3 years, right? We don't know. But sometimes showing up is just the thing that helps us start kind of figuring it out.
Yeah.
So before we sign off, Sadie, is there anything else you want to share? Is there any thing you want to kind of put out there for people to connect with you who may be kind of inspired and want to reach out?
In regards to like a story or
Well, just if they wanna connect with you, is it Instagram that
yeah.
is best to reach out to you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Instagram's great. Slim Sadie. Yeah,
Yep, it should be yeah, we're gonna have all of that in the notes, and you said you train at Dedicated,
I
right?
train at
So that's in
dedicated
Temecula, right?
jiu-jitsu, yep,
Yep,
in Temecula.
yep, and who's the professor there? You mentioned his name
Yeah,
a couple times.
Professor, Jason Medina.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I don't go out to California as much as I used to. I used to work for, an RPO, a staffing company, and a lot of my clients were pharmaceutical clients, so I'd go out there, a lot, and I just don't anymore. But if I ever do, hopefully I'll get to come out and
Yeah, you should.
train with
We're
you
a
guys.
Checkmat affiliate gym, and so, yeah, you anyone's welcome, just, send me a message and
And
come train with me.
look, Atlanta opens if you're ever up here in Georgia, if you're ever on this side of the US. I mean, we have some pretty good competitions in featherweight
Yeah,
divisions,
we
and
I
no.
want to. I think we might be going to I know for sure we're doing Vegas, both gi and no gi this year. Oh, we're going to Vegas this month in 2 or 3 weeks. I don't even know at this point. It's just I'm like, "Oh, shoot, I have a tournament this weekend." So I have American Nationals, but I think I'm trying to get to
Oh
Tennessee.
wow, okay, yeah, I didn't realize nationals were here already. So, but no, good luck,
Thank you.
and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.